First, I want to start off by saying that my heart goes out to the victims of this horrible tragedy. Uh, I feel for the victim's family, friends, and just those who knew him and loved him or cared about him. My heart goes out to those that had to witness this horrible incident. It is truly just a horrific thing to hear about, but I know it was 10 times, 20 times, 100 times worse to have actually experienced. What can I say? I mean, I just, all I can do is just pray for all those people, you know. But I'm thinking that if at least one person on the bus had the right to carry a handgun, had the legal right to carry a concealed weapon, that maybe the life of that young man could have been saved. And I'm thinking that if law-abiding citizens that are able to pass psychological evaluations and qualify at the gun range and have no criminal background history, if those kind of citizens in every country had the right to carry, had the right to be armed, then incidents like this would become a thing of the past, where one guy with a gun or a knife or a sword or whatever they might have can wreak so much terror and havoc. Because I mean, as soon as they do it, somebody that's, you know, one regular citizen that has a right would just shoot them, and there wouldn't be any questions about it, because there'd be like a whole bunch of witnesses around. I mean, there was an incident in the United States where a guy went on a shooting spree or whatever on a campus, on a college campus. There was no one to oppose him. He ended up killing a lot of people. But if one of those people in that classroom or one of the people on that campus had been armed, had the legal right to carry arms, if more people had that right, if more people did that, that guy would have been taken care of much, much sooner. I mean, it would have been like, okay, yeah, you shooting, we shooting back, you know. So I think it's insane for countries like Canada to disarm their citizenry to the point that they are so helpless in the face of a person that may be crazy. That guy may have been a schizophrenic off his meds. That may just hate society. That may just have a beef with somebody. We don't know. That man that he stabbed to death, that the big man stabbed to death in this story, that him and that young man might have had history. They don't know for sure. They just think they were strangers, you know. But at any rate, no matter what the situation really was, if somebody on that bus, if somebody on the college campus, if somebody in a store, if somebody in the office, if regular citizens are armed, then they can defend themselves against stuff like that, because the police can't be everywhere. Security can't be everywhere, you know. So I think this is a horrible tragedy, but I think it would have been avoided if at least people that work in the public transportation or work with the public, at least those people are allowed to be armed. You know, to be a bus driver, you would have to, you know, you would have to be have no criminal history, have be able to pass psychological tests, be able to pass at the gun range. I mean, to be a bus driver, it would be a lot more than just whether or not you can drive. I think, you know, it would be a matter of, can you be kind of like security. I think that's the way it should be with bus drivers and people dealing with the public. And I think that's, you know, I think any country that makes it where regular citizens are disarmed is doing them a disservice. It's doing them a disservice. It's making them vulnerable to, you know, getting killed or watching others get killed while helpless. This is just horrible. I mean, there are people in the United States right now working to make U.S. like Canada. You know, where I think in Canada the only people that are allowed to be armed are like the police and military. But the police and the military can't be there to protect you all the time. That's why it's good that regular citizens be armed. That's what the whole Second Amendment was about, you know, in the United States. The right to bear arms, so that the citizens could protect themselves against dangers, both domestic and foreign, and be able to deal with, if somebody goes crazy or starts shooting, or be able to deal with if the country gets invaded all of a sudden or whatever. Be able to take out a terrorist. Oh, I'm getting ready to shoot off getting ready to detonate a bomb, and a regular citizen just walks up and pumps 2 in the head, and it's over. It's over. Ain't got to wait for security to come. Ain't got to wait for the police to come. I'm not advocating vigilanteism, but when there's a clear and present threat, somebody is chopping somebody to death right in front of you, or they waving a gun around and they start shooting people, or whatever, or they got a bomb strapped to them, it really is nice if a regular citizen is armed and able to do something about it rather than waiting for a guard or the police to show up. That's insane. That's crazy. And if you're against gun rights for regular citizens, that doesn't make any sense. Basically, you're saying disarm the populace so that criminals who don't care about the law, crazy people who don't care about the law either, or anybody else that don't care about the law, so that they'll be the only ones with guns besides the police and the military, who can't always be there to protect you. Think, people, think. If you're in a country where they're disarming citizens or they disarmed them, fight against that. Get your right back to bear arms if you ever had it. And if you've never had it, fight for it. Because then, situations like this can be brought to a quick conclusion. Bus driver on the bus, if he had been armed, he could have took care of this situation right away. So, God bless y'all and keep y'all. Those who are against guns or anti-gun, think about what I've said. Just think about it. Your mother in a store getting shot to death, by a criminal who don't care about gun right, or being mowed down along with a whole lot of other victims. And if you had been armed, you would have been able to save her. You've been able to save your sister or your brother or your neighbor. Think about it. Think about your efforts to take guns out of the regular citizen's hands, and then rethink that. That's not a good idea. Most people that have a gun are not just going to go crazy and start shooting people, especially if they passed all the testing. So reconsider. That's all I ask. God bless you and keep you. Bye-bye.